Hello and welcome to Return to Eberron, Cult of the Godseed. My name is Matt Nahat and we're going to be playing some Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition today with my friends across the seas. Just as a little bit of a recap as to what happened last time, we ventured to the Old Growth Ruins, which is a place deep in the forest, and we encountered some drow in broad daylight who attacked us, despite the fact that some drow had been notified of our presence. They still attacked us, and it was pretty clear that they were doing so outside of their orders, or outside of the orders of most of the drow anyway. They seem to be maybe like a rogue bunch. And the ones that we encountered were worshippers of the scorpion and the spider rather than the snake. And for some reason they were in the Old Growth Ruins trying to do something. We're not sure exactly what it was, but we know it wasn't good. But we eventually made it to the cave mouth of an Androgini, an ancient rainbow serpent of great power, who basically told us that, well, things are bad. Things are really bad. The UNT and some others are trying to open a gateway back to Delcor, the region of nightmares and terrible dreams and demons, that has been sort of banished to the far reaches of space many millennia ago. But apparently these UNT and others are trying to re-establish the connection, re-establish the portal there, and they're trying to usher into our reality, our plane of existence, an avatar of their deity, the Devourer. And we found out that the woman who's been mysterious up till now, we weren't sure who it was, but we knew that she had an emerald phylactery, so she must be a lich. We weren't sure exactly who she was, but the Andron was able to tell us that indeed this woman who has allied herself with the Drow and the UNT is none other than Lady Vol, Lady Arandis Vol, who is leader of the Blood of Vol religion here on Eberron. And that is not good. Not good at all. We have a lot of info. We now know that we need to find the fabled, legendary, lost Destiny Arms, which are 4 very powerful artifacts that, when combined, will show us where this portal is. And the Androgini has promised that she will come with us to the portal and swallow it, and by the nature of her transmuting gullet will be able to destroy that portal and to prevent the demise of the entire world. So, no pressure. So I'm going to hand over to my players now. They're going to introduce themselves and their characters, and we're going to get ourselves started. So let's get started with Felice and Lana, who are on the same line, and there might be some background noise going on because they've got guests, so we'll just have to forgive that. Let's start with them, and we'll go on from there. So go ahead, guys.
Hey there, I am Chris Johnson and I am playing Felice. She is a archaeology student, and this has all been very exciting and fascinating to her, and she is looking forward to hunting down these artifacts.
And I'm Chris, and I'm playing Lana May, Human Rogue. and she finds it all not quite as fascinating, but she is in it for the benefit of her children and is as well eager to get stuff done. We got more clues, we got direction. Let's go.
Perfect. And then we will meet. I guess we'll go to Don, Silas, and then Bastian last. So go ahead, guys.
I will be playing the role of Dawn, uh, the druid of the forested north, and this avatar of nature has caught the scent of blood. We are closing in on our prey. It will not be long from now.
Indeed. Silas.
All right. Yeah, my name's Corey. I'm playing Silas Phoenix this evening. Um, Silas also just wants to go home. He's not very interested in any of this, but he needs to be here to get this done.
Indeed. And Bastian.
All right. My name is Bones. I'll be playing Bastion. He is a clockwork warforged cleric who is seeking redemption for past misdeeds, and he believes that this quest is his ticket into uh, essentially finding a better afterlife for himself.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, welcome to the game, and it's great to be playing with you all once more. We have just sort of wrapped up our conversation with the Androgini. If you've got any final questions for her, I can answer them for you now. So let me just put that forward, and if you think of anything, just let us know. We can always do that in retrospect too. If you think of something after that you might have wanted to ask real quick, as long as it's not out of character, something that we've learnt afterwards, that sort of thing. So as long as it was in character at the time, that's fine. I'm happy to answer any questions. So real quick, is there anything that you guys can think of just off the cuff right now? I'll wait for a second, and then if not, I'll continue on.
I'm feeling pretty good. Looking forward to investigating this decision between the Drow. See if we can figure out. I sense politics going on.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely something going on, and it doesn't seem very healthy. So yeah, you guys can head back to Stormreach now. Real quick, I'm just gonna swap our screen just to the map of Zendrick so that I can real quick show you guys where we're sort of up to. So now you should be able to see the continent of Zendrick, and I've actually put in the Stone Giant Ritual Site, which is where we went first. So I've labelled that. I've also labelled the Old Growth Ruins, where we've just been, and I have also labelled the Honeycomb Caverns, which is where we're going to be going once we find out that they exist, which is going to be in the next few minutes here as we go through some things in Stormreach. So it just helps so that you guys have a little bit of a picture. I know it's not especially, interesting or detailed, but there it is. So it gives you a bit of an idea of where we're at. So yes, we have gotten back to Stormreach, which I'll swap back to now, and inside Stormreach, obviously, as you guys know, we are staying at the Manticore's Tail. And you know what? I'll just narrate this. So you get back to the Manticore's Tail, and Mike, the owner, proprietor, this very buff built like a tank man is he's holding a letter for you guys. It's addressed to all of you. It has all of your names on it and is written in a sealed envelope. The seal is a wax seal, and the crest is something that you have seen around town once or twice. But you haven't really done any investigations around it because you see crests all of the time. You know that nobles exist and lords and ladies and all sorts of houses and affiliations and organizations. And so it's just another one of the crests that you've sort of seen around town. And you would not have seen it before you came here to Zendrick. But, you know, there's a number of new ones. So, again, there wasn't really any reason to investigate it or to, you know anything more about it. But now you have this envelope that is sealed with a wax seal with this crest on it. Yeah, it's also, the envelope is black, pure black, and the seal itself is it's a golden seal. And you can actually see that and assess that there is actual gold in the seal. So it's not a cheap seal. It's actually made of real gold.
Is that
I
more of
bet
your
we could
fan
sell this
mail,
for a
Lana?
diamond.
Sorry, I had both of you talking. Sorry.
You first, Bones.
So Bastion looks at this and he looks to the side and he says, This is real gold. I bet if we don't open this it's worth more, and I bet we could sell it for diamonds.
Probably not. But thank
A
you.
letter from another of your admirers, Lana? I mean fans?
No.
Well, it's got
Let's hope
Lana's
not.
name on it as well as everyone else's name on it.
Yeah, usually the fans only address them straight to Lana. They don't bother to
Yeah, they-
name drop the rest of us.
No, they don't include all of us. And Silas hands the envelope to Felice. So you're the one that, like, is the reason we're here. And hands it to you.
Felice Look
Donald
at
cast aid on Felice.
Felice looks at it, and you already said it's unfamiliar to us, so it's not like a seal that would be familiar in Sharn.
No, you never would have seen it in Shan. It is a noble crest of Zendrick. So,
So I walk right over to the I forgot his name, but the Manticore's barkeep.
yeah, Mike. Yeah.
Mike. I go right over to Mike, and I show him the seal. I say, "Hey, Mike, could you tell us anything about this seal and whose house? You know what?
Who's the family behind this?
Yeah,
Okay, he says, "Oh yes, I know that very well. That is the house of the noble house of Sasso. That's their last name. The proprietor of the house is Riganault. Riganault Sasso.
I'm always in the wrong. And where can we? Are they here in Stormreach, or where do they reside?
Absolutely. Yeah. Their their little enclave is in Silver. What is it called? Silverwall.
Okay. Well, what can you tell us about them?
He says, "Oh look,
Maybe.
there's a number of noble houses represented here in Zendrick. You know, unfortunately, I don't know exactly why so many are around. But, you know, I'm sure that they probably all have some sort of vested interest here, otherwise they wouldn't be here. The main things that are lucrative here in Zendrick, obviously, you know, are, well, adventuring, like you've done, archaeology, like you've done, and, you know, and just general, like, history searching. You know, there's other things as well, but, you know, that's, being that Zendrick is a place of lost civilizations, that's kind of where a lot of the money is. I wouldn't be surprised if the house has something to do with that. But you know, I'm, I mean, I recognize whose symbol it is. I just don't. I don't really know exactly what they do or why they're here.
Or why we have
Sorry.
an envelope.
He says, "Look, I'm really familiar with the dragon marked houses. They also have enclaves in Stormreach, and I can tell you all about them. But the minor noble houses, yeah, I'm sorry, I just don't know. And
That's okay.
they certainly don't give me any business. Most
Oh,
of them.
okay. I'm sorry to hear that. They're missing out, but thanks, Mike. That's still a huge help. I mean, it's more than I know.
Cool.
Yeah, and they sound like someone up your alley, Felice.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, Bastion says.
Mhm.
If you don't know, who would know? And he casts guidance on Mike.
All right.
Oh,
He says it depends where you want to go in town. Look, so, you know, Silver Wall is a pretty upmarket area, he says. You know, there's a number of really, like House Kundarak, for example, their enclave is in Silver Wall. Look, I personally, I would recommend going to see one of the Dragon Marked House enclaves. That's, you know, so the main ones here. There are others. You know, all of them are represented, but the main big ones here are obviously House Kundarak and House Lyrindar. Lyrindar are obviously the ones that provide all of the travel between here and Shan and other places. They're the ones that owned all of the ships and the airships, which have stopped coming in recent days. So, you know, they're all friendly enough. The dwarves of Kundarak and House Lyrindar. That, you know, but the other houses are around too. So. Lana's opening the letter. All right, so
yeah.
Yeah, if you just open the letter, we'll probably know a lot more.
Yeah, so it's under handouts, and it's under the mysterious note, which is the third from the bottom of the handouts. And basically, upon opening the envelope, you find a piece of parchment, and the piece of parchment reads 4, 5, 19, 20, 9, 14, 25, dash 1, 18, 13, 19. And then there's a poem that reads, 1 little piggy went to market, 2 bags of pork bits went home, 3 stories of gilded walls related, 4 scythes unblinking watched alone.
It's ominous.
I think they're threatening us. I don't like this.
Is this some kind of rich person joke that we're just too poor to understand?
I don't know, it just looks like a bunch of bad rolls for somebody.
So anyone that wants to can roll investigation.
Awesome sauce.
Investigation is intelligence. A flat 12.
Okay. Whoa. That's a lot of text there.
Sorry.
Alright, so we've got a 9, 19,
Yeah.
23. Cool, we've got lots. So between you,
Because, see, that's how it does that.
Oh, sorry. I rolled twice.
that's okay. Your first roll was good enough.
Yes, Don.
Another
It's the roll for my guidance.
nice. Very good. So we're up to 20. Yeah, lots. Okay, so number one, the poem seems to be a clue to something. Seems to be a location, and the number, when you look at it, it has 7 digits and then 4 digits. That is very familiar to anyone who has banked with House Kondarak before, as 7 digits followed by 4 digits is generally a bank account number.
The which part of it was the location again?
The poem seems to be a
poem.
location. And being that you've got above 20 here, you can sort of figure it out. Especially with Mike around. So he'll look at it, and at first he's very confused. But when you've rolled investigation and you started to nut it out with him, he's like, oh, and he'll help you out. So basically, the bank in Silverwall is a 3-story building with gilded walls. Inside the bank, there is an automaton that has 4 scythes, which is called a slaughterhouse automaton. And he thinks that the first 2 lines of the poem relate to the slaughterhouse of the name of this automaton. And he believes that this bank account number, or these numbers, relate to a bank account within the bank in Silverwall.
I feel like Lana might also mention up, like, okay, so if that's a bank account number, what about the other 7 numbers?
The entire
The whole thing is a bank account number.
yeah,
It's kind of like bank and routing or something.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to say that they'll pay us to do a task for them, but I don't see what that task is unless maybe they're trying to.
Get us to go there.
Yeah. Also with a 24, you do notice, and this looks like Silas got the best. So Silas, you would be the one that would notice that there's something unusual about the paper that this is written on. And you can figure out that if you hold it up to the light, there is a second poem. And I will edit this and bring that poem up into there. So you may have to open it again, I'm not sure. But the second poem reads, "What do shadows seek is the question that's asked down the road on the left. Ring of blood keeps other men busy where one's head might be what is bereft." Again, it doesn't seem like a very pleasant poem, but you're pretty sure that it's still relating to the bank. And Mike, upon you showing him this, would confirm this as there is an arena a mercenary, like a not a mercenary, like a gladiator arena just down the road from the bank.
Is it on the left?
No. He doesn't know what's down the road on the left. He doesn't know. And he doesn't know what this "what do shadows seek" question is. He's not heard about that before. He says the Ring of Blood is just, it's on the other side, down the street a bit.
Then I have to go on that road.
So, yeah, he's pretty sure that it's still relating to the same place. But he says, look, whoever wrote this, they don't sound like especially nice people. Slaughter and pork bits and blood and... I mean, they could have said it in a nicer way.
I know. They must be up to something evil. We should stop them.
I don't know about that. It seems more to me like
Yeah.
they're scared. Why else would they be writing in code? They don't want somebody else to know what they're trying to say.
Yeah, and remember, it was only after, you know, with your really good investigation rolls that you were able to point out to Mike how to decipher the poem, you know. And he's just been able to, because of his local knowledge, sort of go, it's this. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Well, thank you there, Michael.
No, that's Mike.
Right. Mike.
Seems to me we might need to go down to this location and investigate ourselves to reveal this mystery.
Don is on a roll tonight.
What I
We're
don't
going to-
understand.
I think you're right.
What you don't understand?
What I don't understand is why they would write it in code to begin with. What's the point when someone like Mike could decipher it? No offense, Mike, but there's nothing in here that would point to us being able to decipher it ourselves.
Because we're not local. Mike knows all these things because he lives here.
Exactly.
We just... Right.
So
I mean,
So
why would they be
it
treating
doesn't
us like
seem
a
much-
local?
So maybe who they're trying to hide the information from isn't local either. Maybe there are other outsiders in towns than ourselves.
That's a good point.
Maybe they want us to meet them there.
that and the letter has been sealed and given to,
Us.
us
Curious.
through
Directly.
through
They
the
certainly
manticle.
know. I do find it interesting, though, if Lana would maybe flip the letter over and whatnot, and if she had it back and investigating it, that they seem to know who we are. When
But we
we're
don't know who they are.
Yeah, we've never heard of
They know who
this.
we are. They know where we're staying. I mean,
as she pulls up the envelope, our names
yeah.
are very much on this.
And it's your first and last names as well.
Well, I'm curious to hear what it is that they have. If anything, maybe they know of us because they too are seeking what we're seeking.
All right.
How did this letter get here? It was waiting for us when we got here?
Mike says that a cloaked figure, dropped it off.
Oh, yes, we met him.
He didn't really
Yeah.
ask any questions. I mean, it was a sealed envelope. I mean, we get sealed envelopes all the time, so...
Well, we don't, Mike.
He says, I mean, okay. Would you like me not to give you the next one? If you...
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. Thank you. We're just... Yeah.
So
Sad and on edge. Because, again, new place, a little odd, but I certainly would like to see any further correspondences that come through, especially with my name on it.
Very good.
Indeed.
All right, so it sounds like we want to check out the bank. I mean, it's one of the safest locations in all of Stormreach, where we like to get there.
No, I'm much more interested in the road first.
Next to the arena. I agree.
Yes.
Ooh, if we go to the arena, Bastion, you can fight in it, and maybe you'll actually get like more diamonds.
Good point.
You know how to speak my language. But before then, I think it's best if I answer a few questions. If you'll give me a few minutes to cast a ritual spell, I'll inquire with the divines whether or not this is a trap.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to get a bite to eat.
Very good.
Elise, care to join me?
Yeah, I could eat. Yeah. Mike, how about some ales too?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, whatever my honored guests would like, and you know he'll go about fixing you guys something.
Guys, let's give
Bastion.
Bastion some room and let's go have a seat. I think I feel like we need to think about like who have we met since we've been here? Who all knows we're here? Who could know who we are? What if this is like some sort of crazy trap?
Isn't it exciting? I don't know how you can stand to eat right now. I'm way too excited.
Nah, I actually anything that pushes forward the answer is where I want to be.
All right, so Bastian has 3 questions to ask his dwarf deities. What would you like to ask, Bastian?
Let's see. Is the person who wrote this letter of good intent?
Hmm.
Good question.
You hear an elongated pause. And 2 voices answer. One of them says, yeah. And the other one says, well, no.
Oh, that's amazing.
2 voices. That's never happened before. Well then, is it a trap?
No, it's not a trap.
Will meeting them assist us in our quest?
Yes.
Well, I think that settles it. They're obviously shady, but it's not a trap, and it will help us.
Cool.
I'm of the mind we should go investigate.
Where can I get more diamonds? How can I get those diamonds? Is it better to have more diamonds or bigger diamonds? Nice.
Well, maybe we should
Questions that Bastion has asked many a times on his own time.
Cool. So, yeah. So what? It sounded like a few people in the party were more interested in what was down the road from the bank first. Am I getting that right?
We wanted to see if we could figure out the road on the left from the arena.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, like I said, to get there, we basically go through Respite into Silverwall. So it's like, as long as you don't go through Cross District, it's incredibly safe. There's not really a safer way. Or a safer place in all of the city. So yeah, you can make your way safely to Silverwall and check the area out. So yeah, you do find obviously the bank, which takes up an entire block of its own. It's huge. But there is off to the right side, there's an arena, which is down the road. And off to the left side, there's a long alleyway.
Felice, I've always found it strange that the various races will tear apart the earth to pull forth the ore, metal, and rocks, just to go to extravagant lengths to house it in these man-made constructs of rock. I mean, couldn't they have just left it in the ground and pointed there and said, "Those are my rocks"? Why did they need to bring them here? I don't believe I'll understand.
I guess they just needed somewhere to live, Don. I mean, we gotta live somewhere too, you know.
Well, but they don't live here though. This is all storage, isn't it?
Well, you know, you gotta have a place to store the things you need to live. There's
Donald grumble about
storage
not needing
spaces
rocks to live.
in every ancient site I've ever been to. I don't know. I guess it's kind of odd.
Not really. Don't
Well,
you house
Don,
yourself there, Trinity.
if you come across any shiny rocks that are gems, I'll take them off your hands.
No doubt. So yeah, there is this long alleyway that sort of curves and splits off down to the left side. There seems to be buildings on either side. It's, when I say alleyway, it is still, it's not a dark, secretive alleyway. It's just an alleyway that's still quite wide. This whole district is, as I said, quite safe. So there's not like beggars or ne'er-do-wells anywhere to be seen. But
Well, there are 4 of them now.
yeah. Good point. Sure. So yeah, but there's so looking down there, just from what you can see, there's no like signposts out the front of any of these buildings that would denote a place of interest or of business.
I feel lost among all these buildings. Perhaps this is the road that was mentioned? I can't tell if it looks strange or not.
Doesn't look much stranger than any other. It is kind of strange that there's no signage around here, though.
Not in this particular alleyway.
Yeah. This must be the back of the other buildings, maybe?
Could be the back, could be they just want their knowledge.
Well, there's definitely doors and windows and things. There's just no signage.
Well, if there are doors, it's meant for people to walk in and out of. Let's take a look.
So
Donald.
We can always knock, cause I don't know, like I guess this should be businesses, but maybe they are homes.
Yeah.
Like I don't have it.
So, what I'll get you to do, anyone that wants to knock, I'll get you to roll an unmodified d20, and this is to see which door you knock upon.
Sure.
Okay, you're knocking on door 14, Lana, and an elderly woman opens the door, and she says, "Hello, dearie."
Hi. And I imagine this is very much not quite who Lana would be expecting for where they're going. So
she puts on she reaches into a pocket that's at the front of her apron, and she pulls out these really thick glasses, and she puts them on, and she says, "Oh, you're a pretty one. What could I do for you, dearie?"
Ask her that.
Sorry. So my brain is now backing up in which I was on one track, and I'm like, wait, we're in this alley. What are we looking for again? As players? Sorry.
What do shadows seek?
So,
Down the
speaking
road.
out of character, looking at the second poem, it looks like it's insinuating that if we go in this alley and tell the right person what do shadows seek, that they'll let us into some sort of secret establishment. It's like the passphrase into an underground fighting ring or something. Is the question that's asked down the road on the left. So we're going to ask the question.
Okay,
Right.
so we are in essence looking for that arena place.
It might be.
All right. Well. Okay. Sure. Lana just kind of smiles and they're like, "What do shadows seek?" Gives her a dashing grin, just like, this is totally a normal thing to ask.
She pauses for a moment, and she scratches her head, and she's like,
It's okay. I don't know the answer either.
Is this a riddle, dearie?
It's okay. I don't know the answer either. No, you're just new to the neighborhood, and could you point us in the direction of the market?
She points north.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Sorry for... And we'll just turn to her friends and just go, not that one.
It's nice to meet you, dearie.
Yeah.
Thank you for visiting this old lady. I don't get visitors very often.
Aww.
You don't want to come in for a cup of tea?
Can't say no, Lana. It'd be rude.
Lana's making a mental note to come back and say hi to this poor old little lady. I would love... Today is not the best time. I'm Lana May. What's your name by chance?
Enid.
Enid. All right. Well, Enid, I love the invitation. I would love to come back another time.
And what's your name, dearie?
Lana May.
Lana May. Well, it's been nice to meet you, Lana May.
And nice to meet you too, Enid.
Alright, bye now.
Oh yeah,
Seems
she's
nice.
suspicious.
And Lana comes back. She seems nice. She's suspicious.
This is great. We should have done this earlier. I could watch Lana knock and run.
Knock on doors all session.
Well, on that
Oops.
note,
Sorry.
15. Let's go next door.
Next door along.
Knock, knock, knock.
Yeah, so, you hear crying, like a child crying from inside, and you hear a female voice trying to shush the child, and then a woman sort of opens the door, just like enough to open it ajar, and she says, "Shh, the child's trying
What
to
about-
sleep."
Oh
Wait.
gosh! And Lana just goes in like full like eyes wide, like, I am so sorry. I understand.
It's okay, what can I do for you?
By chance, would you know what do shadows seek?
She closes the door.
Lana just quietly walks away like, not that one.
Not that one.
Are you just gonna knock on all the doors?
Just knock on all the doors and just ask what does Shadow seek for each person.
Well, she's walking over door number 17 because number 16, there's probably another crying child.
Well,
there.
before we go to Lana
Maybe
next, is there someone else that wants
Is-
to...
Phrase that we need.
Yeah, I actually have a more efficient way to go about this as entertaining.
As entertaining as knocking on doors in a random place in town. Yeah.
Gotta admire your spunk though, Lana.
Hey, just
So
trying to
take-
get the job done.
Taking pity on Lana's shredded what's the word?
Hey, come on. Mama's very charismatic these days, okay?
It's not humility, it's the not
Absolutely
being embarrassed.
Thrilled.
Anyway, Don will stir together some herbs in a small bowl and throw them out onto the road, spit on them. He'll ask the question, which door are we looking to say the phrase where the shadows seek to gain entry?
So the answer that comes back is, number one, you're not going to be asking where do shadows seek. In fact, they're going to be asking you what do shadows seek. And the door that you're looking for is the door before the one that Lana knocked on first, door number 13.
Very interesting. The wilds have spoken. Gather round those who would gain wisdom. We need to apparently what do shadows seek is not what we will be asking, but what we will be asked. We need an answer before we put forth the question. Unless we want to just, do it the fun way. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with the fun way.
So what do shadows seek? Light?
The shadows. They seek nothing.
Nothing? Yeah?
Shadows are
I have no.
they're
Will.
a void, aren't they?
What if they seek light? You can only see them in the light. Would be Lana's
Nervous.
input.
No, you're
You may
Not wrong.
roll intelligence checks. No skill, because this is just pure, just trying to nut it out.
Flat 10 for Lana.
Okay, 10. Oh, nice. That's pretty good, Felice.
Thanks.
what is going on? I can't do it. Where's the thing? Forget it. So we go away.
Better than Dawn. That's all that matters.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my roll. I have no plus or anything.
Okay. Very good. Between you and Felice, you think that Lana's pretty damn close. You think light is either the answer or it's something to do with light, like another word. You think light probably doesn't sound like an official answer to a riddle like this, to a question like this. It might be something more like official or more like less.
Illumination?
Gotta be a phrase.
Yeah,
you guys.
so it could be
Oh,
like it could be illumination. It could be what else could? Yeah, so other words surrounding light is what you sort of think is
I
gonna.
bet it's illumination.
A lantern will give shadows life. Give shadows a lantern reveals the shadows?
Don't shadows flee from the light? Don't they
Oh.
seek darkness?
But
No.
darkness, you can't see them.
Yes.
But that's what they move towards. They move away from the light.
True.
True.
Well, it's sort of you. I guess in a way, those that got under 15 are like just role playing what role they got. They're like, yeah. I mean, shadows seek more shadows. They move away from the light. Those that got 15 or higher are like, no.
No.
They need the light to be seen, and Silas is pretty sure with his 19 that illumination sounds like much better of an answer than just light.
Yes. So.
Did you make that meme on the spot? My God.
Yeah.
I'm gonna award you with inspiration there, Don. Because I couldn't do it that quickly. That's insane.
I am
That's pretty
talented.
cool.
So yeah,
I already have an inspiration, so I'm gonna award that to Lana for playing the butt to that joke.
very good.
Yay!
So yeah, you're pretty sure probably
should-
illumination is right.
Yeah. So Silas goes up to said 13, right?
Yeah. Well, they don't
Is
say
that-
13, but they describe the door that is number 13.
Right.
Don points at the door mystically, like, that is the one.
So
Silas goes up to it
Yeah.
and knocks on the door.
right. So the door doesn't open, but it has one of those horizontal bar things that can be moved to the side, and you see a pair of eyes. And yeah, a voice comes through and says, "What does shadow seek?"
Illumination.
If the correct answer is given, let me ask you this, Silas. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing my typical traveling armor, and have the mantle of the White Phoenix on me. So.
Do you look wealthy?
Well, yeah.
I suddenly think it's a good thing that Don wasn't the one who knocked.
Yes.
The-
Yes.
Um,
The armor in which he wears is not cheap anymore. Clearly.
So the voice sort of says, "Very well. If you walk to the end of the alley, turn left, walk 30 paces, turn right, walk 30 paces, and knock on the door to your left, and say the word golden parrot." They will let you in. The sliding bolt slides into place, and you're left standing in the middle of of the alleyway with these directions.
But there's So I share those with the group and start heading in that direction.
Cool. Parrot.
Yep. Golden parrot.
Cool. So if you do so, are you going with the entire group?
Well, it appears as if I was given permission. I don't know if everybody was.
Well, they only really... You're the one that knocked, so...
I'm the one they saw. Yeah, so... I don't know if we can go in there all gangbusters there. Everyone.
Alright, it's up to the group.
I
We should go check out the bank.
would
That
don't
don't
have any
really
problem with that.
Into
No, I do not.
maybe another clue or two would be why.
I think we're on the right track. I think the bank was just that's where you start to find the landmarks.
Okay. Yeah, that does sound reasonable.
All right. You go down to.
I think we can at least walk there to like do the steps and then which door that we're looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Treeman with me.
Okay. Is Lana going or not?
No.
No.
I was just like suggesting instead of like completely abandoning because Lana finds it important that we at least go starting from where they're at to see where the door is, or at least someone going there. And then if I was like I'm going to go and take it on, then she'd be like, all right, then Bastion, I will check out the bank. Where should we reconvene?
Splitting the party is a bad idea.
What happens if you
Stick
get into
together.
trouble?
Then we poke their eyes out and we all attack together.
Right. I don't foresee that should be a problem.
So I'm going to give you this much. I'm going to say that each of you at least walk in to the start of the alley, which was the last turn of the direction. And so the rest of the directions are walk 30 paces and knock. So I'm going to say that you're all 30 paces away from the door that you're about, and Lana is there. So Lana, upon turning that corner and looking down that alley, you don't get a very good feeling. Something in your back of your mind is reeling. Not entirely sure what it is, but you're not feeling. You don't want to go down there. It doesn't feel good to you.
Yeah, Anna would vocalize this as she kind of like stops mid-step and just like, hey, guys, I don't know, something does not feel right. Is anyone else seeing this, or I'm not?
No one else has.
Is that's a creepy alley?
It's
Lana, you've been complaining about things being too dangerous since we left. Give it a rest.
Don, things technically are. There's something. I'm staying here.
I assure you, Lana, Dawn is much more proficient in conjuring golems than I am at being a golem.
Yes, I have no doubt in your guys' ability. That is absolutely true, but it feels like trouble. It feels like unnecessary trouble.
Lana, could you make me an insight check?
Absolutely, happily. Ooh. Inside check coming up!
Lana, do you still have your coin purse on you?
That counts as a 10 plus 4 for 14.
Use your insight. Use your insight.
That's what she's doing.
So Lana, you're feeling. So when
Wait.
when you look down the alleyway, you feel dirty.
Does memories of a certain Bert come back to mind?
Not in that much detail.
Okay.
You don't see a flash of his face, but you just feel dirty.
Right, yeah, she's
I-
very
Sounds
stubbornly,
about-
like, this is like the stubborn Lana look. This is not pouty and reluctant. This is the, no, I'm not going.
No, I know.
And she just folds her arms and stands there and just goes, no.
So, Felice asked me a question in chat, which was, would your attentive awareness apply here? And attentive awareness says, taking note of your surroundings in relation to your fields of study, your proficiency bonus is doubled. on ability checks such as history, investigation, perception, or insight. So it is your fields of study. Have you studied, and I'm going to give it away here, right? But this is player knowledge, yeah? Have you studied Women of the Night?
Holy crap, no.
So, no, it doesn't help you.
Thanks. That's why I wanted to ask, because I didn't intend for you to give anything away to anybody.
No, like, yeah, but that's what this is.
No would have been totally okay.
Yeah.
No.
Silas is going to kind of use his new divine sense and start seeing if he gets anything that comes off from that, from what Lana is
So, is that just normal divine
Not from the-
sense?
Yeah, just good old
Yeah,
divine
there's no fiends, undead, celestials.
No. Okay. And
So at this point, a well-dressed man, comes out of the door, which is still 30 strides away from you. And cursively looks up and down the alleyway. He turns away from you, zips up his fly, and walks the opposite direction.
Lavon just narrows her eyes and goes, "Nope."
Felice, like, shields her eyes kind of and, like, turns away and not need to see that.
Like, that's not too bad.
oh,
That's nothing.
You guys go ahead.
so I guess I'm gonna have to bring out the old me, huh?
Ruin everything.
Lana just kind of just like, I hope not.
Yeah.
If you guys go, there's probably something that might just whatever this. I don't. Or what?
Why
if
would we be sent here?
Sending us because what? Wait, he saw you. What if this is just a ruse or just a? We're gonna send you here. What if we gave them the wrong answer?
Well, then we
Okay.
kick their butts.
Yeah.
Dawn says helpfully.
Lana just kind
And
of
there's
like, you guys go ahead, go in there, but I really don't want to go in there.
that's fine. Are you coming, Truman?
Yeah.
We'll keep watching it here.
Oh, man.
I don't really want to bring the metal one.
So, I'm going to keep it real
I
short,
don't
guys.
want to come.
I'm going to keep it real short. If you go in there, it's a brothel. It's a very clean, well-organized brothel. The girls are gorgeous, but it's a brothel. And there's really, like, you know, you sit down, you know, you look around, you have a chat, they come over to you, you know, they might sit on your lap or something, and you realize pretty quickly that there's really nothing here for you, except it's a brothel. So if you want to stay here or come here at another time, by all means.
No.
But there's nothing here story-wise for you.
Thank you for the swerve. And yes, I would say maybe after 20 minutes, like,
Okay.
I'm not very much interested in this, Truman. It's not much for us here.
Where's the blood ring?
I mean, it's just down the road. There's like
Okay.
it's a big arena with like gladiators fighting. You can hear shouting from, you know, anywhere that you are. You know, shouts of, you know, cheers and oohs and
Yes.
ahs and the ringing
Well,
of steel.
Maybe this minor noble house heard that we have sufficient gold for our means and is looking for ways to expand their business. Did we just reply to a spam advert?
So okay, I'll give you this much to try and facilitate moving on. So the letter was designed to get you to the bank. That's not where you've ended up.
Not at all.
But that's okay. So I mean, upon being in here, and even if you wanted to like go to the arena and check it out and have a look around, I feel like I'd be doing you a disservice if I took that time away from you. I'd rather play with you guys. I mean, it's fun and it's funny, but there's nothing there for you. There is something for you at the bank.
This is the swerve.
No, that's fine. That was where we're going next anyway, because Lana and Felice have already figured that out.
Yeah. We'll
We
just,
emerge
yes.
and say, we don't know. I feel like we've gone the wrong direction. Maybe you two should pick the next spot.
Yeah, this is really the wrong way. Really, really the wrong way.
Yeah.
And,
Something happened. Are you all right?
Lana and
They hurt
Felice, you notice that there is definitely a different scent on these men as there's a heady perfume as they have come out, but you don't think that they've engaged in anything. It's just there's a bit of a perfume as they come out.
It's really sad. Even in
What?
affluent neighborhoods like this, there are people who can't afford clothes.
Yes, and what I can tell you there, Bastion, is if we didn't leave...
As Lana quotes and fingers in the air.
Well, what I can tell you, Bastion, is if we didn't leave, there would have been a lot of action happening there.
Oh gosh. Just like.
So let's be alone.
I could just see Lana blocking her ears. La, da, 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 da.
I feel like walking, just like eye roll and just kind of turn away. Of like, are we going to the bank now?
Yeah,
Yes.
and just
So-
this question on your lips, you know.
Lana
You mean, like, he's really changed, hasn't he?
we start walking off, pulling Lana along. Yeah, let's just go.
Alright, so you make your way to the bank. Cool. So, at the bank, you have this series of letters, series of numbers, that is an account number.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you tell the teller, if you read it out or show it to them, this is what happens. They open the records and give you access to that bank account. So I have now given you another handout, which is beneath the mysterious note, and that handout says, "This bank account was donated to our cause by a mysterious benefactor and currently has a princely sum of 13,731 gold pieces in it. There is also a lockbox with a parchment rubbing of a stone tablet."
Felice cannot look at that rubbing fast enough.
Oh, yeah.
She, like, snatches it up and is immediately fascinated.
Right, so the rubbing is written in a sort of strange cipher. Do you want to make an investigation roll?
Do I ever? Let's see here. Oops, wrong one. That one.
Okay, let me scroll up. Yes. Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, baby.
So, with a 25, you decipher a series of directions that are to a place that the cipher describes as honeycomb caverns, and the word that is associated with the honeycomb caverns is 1 second here. Let me just grab this. Is the glaive of the darkest depths.
Ah.
Sounds pedestrian.
And you recognize that as one of the
One of our
destiny
four.
arms that you are looking for.
Check it out, you guys. This is directions to one of our destiny arms.
What?
She's got a
How?
gleam in her eye, and she is.
It's like, never mind who this guy was. He's
it.
giving
Say
us
it again.
directions.
Obviously, an upstanding citizen.
Obviously.
Clearly.
Don'll start vacuuming up the coins with the pouch of coin vacuuming.
Coins? No, this is a vault. Yeah, so if you want to empty the vault, do you want to empty the vault? Or
How much is it
Yeah,
hold?
we got space for it.
How much is a hold?
The bag or the vault?
300,
The bag.
313,007 coins.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you can definitely take that with you.
Yeah, you can definitely take 13,000.
Lana, I think, is gonna be a little hesitant just in the like. This seems like a lot of stuff that we shouldn't.
Yeah, and there's just this ringing, vacuuming sound going through the vault. What?
I can't hear you, Lana.
What type of favors will we owe them later for this type of service?
Oh, it's like they gave us the bank account, but I don't
You,
know,
you
yeah.
can't hear each other. The vault is really well insulated, so all of the sound just reverberates back into the room. So all you can hear is.
That's awesome.
But after it's been vacuumed up, Don will say, "Well, the way I see it is, they've given us favors, yes, but they haven't asked for their price yet. So they probably should have said that beforehand if it's not something we really want to do. So maybe they want us to do this for the sake of it,
So
or maybe
underneath the pile of coins, Don, there is
Yeah.
actually something that doesn't get sucked up into the vacuum because it's not a coin. There is actually a square of fabric on the ground that was underneath this big pile of coins, and it took you vacuuming the entire lot to actually reveal that it was there. And on this fabric, one, you know that the fabric is very rare. You've never seen really fabric like it, except for maybe once when you were with Carrie or Kari, and she might have been detailing some of the latest fashions and things to you. And you recognize it from there, but you know that this particular fabric is quite rare and quite expensive. And on that fabric is the same symbol, the house crest, and on the back of the fabric there is a stitched address on it. You think perhaps that this fabric is probably a handkerchief, but it's a very, very expensive handkerchief, and there's an address on the back.
Stranger and stranger. So when Don is first finishing up with the vacuuming of the coins, you'll see the one object that doesn't get sucked in. He'll kind of frown at it and run the coin sack of vacuum storage over it a couple of times, kind of like he would with a piece of stubborn lint. Before realizing it's not going to suck itself up, he'll close off the sack and pick it up and examine it and see the things you just described.
Yeah.
Mention to the others an address. Maybe our mysterious benefactor?
I hope so.
Would
It'd be
be
nice
no.
to meet this mystery person. Or people.
Absolutely.
Or
Donald fold up the piece of cloth and put it in a chest pocket. Perhaps we should check it out. Do you want to go there now? I think we should.
Cool. You can go there now.
It's kind of like a scavenger hunt.
So I'm just going to reveal to you a contact. So it's beneath all of your handouts. And let me just put in all players.
Kilgore the Hunter.
And we will do that. So you should now see at the bottom of your contacts a contact for Reginald Sarso, and he is a very, very robust man. Quite an aristocrat, and he answers the door smoking a pipe. And his headdress is hilarious, as is his clothing. He is dressed to the nines in layers upon layers of gorgeous fabrics.
isn't it kind of hot here for that?
Yeah. Yes, it is. There's a nice cool breeze coming from inside his home. And
When you know it.
he answers the door, and he says, "Oh, yes. Please do come in. I am Reginald Sarso. I've been expecting you."
Glances all around at the party, a couple of shrugs.
By the way, walking up to this residence, it sort of sits apart from most of the houses nearby, as many of the noble houses do. They sort of sit slightly apart. And upon, like, walking towards the door, the gardens are gorgeous. The door is, like, mahogany and polished and has, like, a solid brass knob, which is pure, like, brass. And, yeah, it's very, very... it's very opulent.
She has a little extra.
Oh boy. Yeah, so
Wow.
this guy's clearly quite wealthy. He holds open the door and he says, "Please, why don't you come on in?"
Don will step in, trailing small bits of mud and twigs as he does normally.
Except when you enter, you do not trail mud and sticks. In fact, nothing comes off you, and in fact, nothing is on you anymore. As soon as you step foot in the house, there is no mud or sticks anywhere on your being.
I feel all itchy.
Felice kind of looks around at everybody else, but then steps in right behind Dawn and says, "Thank you, sir."
Oh, it is my pleasure. Please, come, sit down.
Lana's following.
Bastion
Donald.
steps through and he's like, "Oh, I've been trying to get rid of that metal for so long. Thank you."
Aren't you made of metal?
Some of those coins never made it out of me.
That's a throwback.
Yeah.
Donald find a piece of furniture to sit on and sit at a corner of it awkwardly, kind of like a stag inside a building.
If anyone sits in a chair, like it's one of those chairs that you seem to sink down in forever. It's like, can it sink any further? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
Yes, it can.
Lana might, when conversation starts, she might kind of do one of those like, I want to experiment, and so like sneakily like get her feet up under her and like stand up just to see if she sinks down forever, like on here.
Not quite,
Ah,
but
it's
it
a
feels
mimic.
that way.
Lana.
It feels that way, but no, you don't fully disappear into it.
Okay, she's like,
Character death narrowly avoided.
Suffocation by chair.
He says, "It is such a pleasure to meet you all."
I take it you were the one to send us the letter? We have your I believe your handkerchief here. Donna wave it awkwardly.
Oh yes, that is just one of my many. And he gestures, and part of the wall sort of flips, and there is a whole array of perfectly folded handkerchiefs, all in a beautifully rainbowed line above the mantelpiece.
Jeez. Okay, you're a man of opulence.
Why, yes.
You need
A
from
man
us.
of the cloth.
Clearly.
He says,
So why did you send for the correspondence, sir?
well, you might have noticed that I have come across a tablet of some worth.
Yes? Yes, we have.
I
And,
provided you
my
a
friend
rubbing
here.
of this tablet.
I think we know what that means.
He says, I was hoping someone would be able to decipher it.
Everyone looks at Felice.
and Felice at the moment is AFK, so but I'm sure she would, yeah.
He sort of says, I am led to believe there is a legendary artifact of great worth if this particular tablet was deciphered.
I can't help but notice that you oddly knew about us seeking this object. You knew our names, you knew where we were staying in town. You know more than you should. How?
He says, correction. I did not know that you are seeking this artifact. I know who you are. It is no secret. You can't come to a city and start hiring airships and venturing through ancient ruins without being noticed
And buying all the cheese.
and buying all the cheese and asking strange questions about the storage of cream.
Wasn't that strange. We just didn't know. Don may be sulking.
So might Lana. Yes. So it is.
Well, we are adventurers of repute. I guess it's no surprise that they precede us.
He says, yes, from the Unnamed Adventurers Guild.
Yes, the defunct.
Why all the mystery
You know-
getting us here? Why not just invite us or come and meet us?
Surely
Well,
you
that's no
enjoy a challenge. It's no fun otherwise. And I had to, clarify your worth after all. People can say many things about adventurers.
So that was our test.
So to speak.
So, well, okay. She's kind of looking at him dubiously now, thinking about where the guys just went. Trying to figure this out, and like, little.
The other end of the riddle
Odd.
was not as honorable as this place is.
Please answer that and mute. Or
Yeah, hold on.
He's
Sorry.
just letting it go.
that's okay.
I was trying to get to it. It was on a different screen.
Yeah, the hold on was just funny because it was sounding like you wanted us to listen to it like, shh, don't complain.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
Yep.
So yeah, he sort of says, yes, you do understand that not all people whose stories get spread are as worthy as you, and I couldn't have someone who is not worthy track down this particular artifact. Otherwise, well, who knows where it might end up.
And what are you gonna do with it once it's found?
Well, I showed you the way. I just want recognition for that. Finding such an object after such a long time, surely you would understand, Felice, that the person to figure this out and to find this would become quite an icon amongst scholars all across Ebra.
So I'm sure you can understand why I would want some credit too.
Oh, well, we can all have credit as long as it's shared.
I look around at everybody else to gauge where they're at.
You will find that I can provide you with all the resources that you will need.
Yeah. I mean,
Do you have diamonds?
Ha! 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 Do I have diamonds? Yes. Yes, I do have diamonds.
I sense the start of a wonderful friendship.
As do I, sir. Welcome back.
Yeah, I need just a quick break here in like 10 minutes. Sorry,
That's fine.
just like 2-3 minutes.
Okay.
So
yeah, Lana's all for helping out. Like,
yeah. But all right, I don't know what I missed, but he does understand we're taking this relic, right?
I have no need for the relic, only the fame that comes along with being one of the ones to assist finding the relic.
Fantastic. Well,
Well, the gleam has returned to Felice's, no doubt.
Ah, yes. I do understand your emotions, young Felice.
It's very exciting.
Yes.
I'm so close to my finishing my thesis.
Oh, I did mine many years ago. And when he says that, Felice, your memory is being jogged here. You know, you didn't really recognize his name to start with. And now that he sort of says that he did his thesis many years ago, you're like, maybe I should know this guy, and you start to like cast your mind back. And you're pretty sure that this guy is a scholar of great repute that has sort of been penned as one of the co-founders of some of the world's most renowned artifacts that have been found. And he's only mentioned, you know, at the start of books and maybe occasionally through them, so it's not something like he's not on the front page, sort of, so
Yeah.
to speak. So it's not like he's the author of one of these dissertations or papers. But now that he sort of said this, his work has been referenced and his help has been referenced. And he is certainly famous in his own right for effectively breaking the story on a number of these artifacts, therefore leading to their them being found.
Wait, you're the Reginald Sarso?
Ah, yes, I see. You might have heard of me. And his eyes are just glimmering with excitement. He is so excited that you know of him, and he's just like,
Of course, sir. I'm sorry. I can't believe I didn't put it together sooner. Just so you know, out of context, but oh my gosh, what a pleasure to meet you. And she now she wants to shake his hand, and she's like,
he holds out his hand, but he doesn't hold it to shake it. He holds it the way a king would, with all of these massive rings on it, and it like puts it down as if to your mouth, as if to kiss one of his rings.
oh wow.
Lana just kind of like hides her eyes, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this guy.
I would find that a little awkward. That's not like how her professors and things usually
I don't imagine it is.
and
Takes
just
his
like,
hand
yeah, and like, exactly, just like takes his hand awkwardly and kind of like, it's a pleasure. And then it's like awkwardly steps away without kissing the ring.
Yes, his eyes sort of go wide a little bit, but he sort of nods. Well, yes. Good luck with your ventures, and don't die.
Well, we'll try not to. Thank
Might
you.
even say that's one of our best abilities.
Well, this is why I contacted you in particular.
With me around, death is but an inconvenience.
So it seems. Now, please, I am very busy. If you don't mind, I shall go back to what I was doing, and you shall go and find this ancient relic.
Of course, sir. We have. I look around at everybody again. Like, we have another expedition to plan. We will get out of your hair. Thank you.
Let's go get it.
He adjusts his hat. His very gaudy, ridiculous hat.
Yeah, that thing is really something.
And he shows you to the door and he says, please don't hesitate to come and see me if you have any issues.
Thank you. We'll do that.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Oh, man. Yeah, so...
After the door is shut behind us, Felicia kind of mutter like, "Did he think king or something?" What was that about?
I don't know. You and your professors, I guess.
Well,
Eccentrics.
he's I've never met one quite like him before. He's a piece of work. But wow, he's even so, he's pretty impressive. Like, his name comes up all the time. All the time.
Probably went to his head.
Yeah, like, I don't know, having now met him, you know, the way that he talks and the way that he is, and, you know, all of the things that you've read, that they almost don't seem like the same person, but they must be. It's like you just, like, meet someone for the first time, and, you know, I don't know, they're just not what you expected or whatever. That's the kind of vibe that you sort of get, is like, that's not what I was expecting if I was to ever meet that guy.
Not even a little. He is nothing like I imagined. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so for those that want to take a break, probably now's a decent time. We now have directions as to how to get to the Honeycomb Caverns, which supposedly is the resting place of the Glaive of Darkest Depths. So go ahead and take a few minutes, do what you need to do. I will put us over to the Be Right Back screen, and we will be right back, guys, in a couple of minutes to plan and go on this section of the adventure. So let me just put us over there, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes, guys.
18's like the next major milestone for druids. So
Cool. No worries. Well, welcome back, guys, to Return to Eberron, Cult of the God Seed. And today we are continuing on our little adventure after discovering that we have this Riganault Sarso funding our expedition and helping us out. He seems nice enough. He's out for the glory and the fame. He's definitely given us the directions to the Honeycomb Caverns where we're going to be headed. So, are there any final preparations that you guys want to undertake before departing for the Honeycomb Caverns? Now, just as information, we will be doing so as a ship voyage because that's the easiest way to get there. And let me just swap us over just so that you can real quickly see it to the map of Zendrick here, and you'll see. So let me just real quick draw here. Where are we? Draw. So I'll draw it here. So from Stormreach, we would be coming out into the peninsula, coming around, and then down this way to get down to the Honeycomb Caverns. We can fly if we really want. It doesn't matter either way. There's not going to be an encounter either way. As far as the travel is concerned, we will get there safely. So it doesn't bother me. But
I do have a thing that I want to do before we leave.
Yep.
As Dawn has now become in tune enough with Nage to cast 6th level spells, he will search out some large tree nearby Stormreach City that doesn't seem that it's going to be in any imminent danger of being killed or whatnot, and attune himself to it by... I guess he just has to see it, but he'll touch it because, be all special, so that we can use transport via plants to travel back afterward.
Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely, you can do that, yeah.
Do we know how long the voyage?
Quite a while. Either if you go via air, it's a little bit quicker. But everywhere that we've gone so far, it's taken about a week. Well, some of them were like 5 days, 4 days, 5 days. This one, let me just quickly look. It's so that is about 6. Looks to me about 600 miles. So we're talking about 10 days.
Okay.
And then via plants in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we have to know a tree on that side.
Yeah, well, there's guaranteed to be. We're not going into a desert or anything.
Very good.
And Dawn can always grow a tree if we really need one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've prepared your transport via plants by tagging a tree. Are there any other preparations that anyone wants to undertake before we make our way to the Honeycomb Caverns?
I think Felice, the only thing would be that Felice would probably want to go back to the museum and check their archives and stuff for more information on the tablet and just the typical stuff, but nothing that we have to RP.
Okay.
Lana, you could hire Chance to come along with us, probably.
Yeah, I'm probably rolling enough dice. He can inverted commas come, but I'm not going to be rolling for him as far as so. I mean, story wise, that's fine, but not.
Already tried. He wasn't interested. At least that's how Lana would respond. Already tried. He wasn't interested.
How rude. Was it because we got
No, I think
Was it because we got him knocked unconscious the last time he came along with us?
I think actually he probably stayed with the Androgyny because he was absolutely taken by her. Not sexually, just he like reverence wise. Like if you remember, as soon as he saw her, he was down on a knee and avoiding her gaze, averting his gaze from her, just like you would a deity.
Yeah. Some are much more easily taken.
How long do we spend in town before we leave?
As long as you like.
So far, it's just Felice and her research. It sounds like.
So at least a
And Dawn's
day.
tree hunt.
At least a day to, tag the tree, get some research done.
Mm-hmm.
Refill all of your, supplies.
All right, if 2 days pass, Bastion will go ahead to the old gate and investigate the gutter serpents. That's only if you have time on his hands.
Oh, yeah, you've got a little bit of time. Fair enough. Let me just see what I've got here. How, like, when you say investigate the gutter serpents, how deep are you going? What are you looking for? How dangerous do you want to get? Give me a little bit of a picture of how you're doing this.
This is primarily a scouting mission, but if they come to him, he can hold his own. He's primarily walking through the streets, presenting himself as the target, seeing if they respond at all to his asking about them.
Okay.
So he will go around as if he's doing an official investigation. He'll talk to people about what they know about it, what they've heard about it, troubles they've had with it. Try to get a sense of what they stand for and what problems they've caused the community.
Okay. So, as you've experienced before, each of them sort of says, "Oh yes, the gutter snakes. Oh yes, the sewer serpents. Oh yes," and uses different name. So the information that you get. Actually, do you want to roll me like a persuasion, investigation, your choice of like some sort of gather information check. So persuasion, perception would be okay as well. And if you want to make a couple of these checks, feel free to. So just click on whichever skills you think are appropriate in this case. If you're talking to people, it's obviously going to be persuasion. If you're investigating, actually like asking questions and following leads, obviously investigation. If you're just looking around and poking around, perception, that sort of thing. So go ahead and make whichever checks you want.
I'll roll an investigation checks to see how well he goes around with poking around with people. And then I'll roll a perception check for him walking down the streets and seeing what's off.
Cool, sounds good. Okay. Cool. Look, your investigations. So number one, like just as I was beginning to say, the number one thing that you figure out is that no one really knows who this gang is. They know that a new gang exists, but they're all using different names. They're all like contradicting each other. They're like, oh, we heard that they were, down in this area, and then another guy's like, oh no, they're up in that area. And the one piece of consistent information that you get, which is true, is that the rivalries between the gangs have riled up. So the gangs had rivalries before, but now that there's a new gang, all of that stuff has boiled up to the surface, and they've some of them have been banding together to try and get rid of this new gang. Some of them have been fighting each other anew. There's been some infighting. So just a lot more obvious gang activity has been happening. But no one really knows too much about the new gang. They're just like, we know that their name is this, and most of the time when they say that, the name that they say is wrong. But you get the idea. Probably they're in the sewers, somewhere, and they're definitely causing, this uproar with the gangs. What their goal is, you don't know. With your perception check, however, you do notice that you do notice that whoever these gang are, they're very stealthy. You have a real good look around. You poke into places that could be dangerous for you, but you're not finding a lot. And I'm not punishing you for a low check. In fact, I'm rewarding you by telling you how well hidden they are. You think that this is very specific and directed. You think that they're here to be hidden. That's part of their organization structure, is to stay hidden, and they're doing a really good job of it.
It's one of those things where normally when you go into the Crips or the Bloods territory, you can see their gang signs on the walls.
Right.
But here there's a conspicuous, clean wall.
Right. So it seems like to you, and this is again true, that probably a lot of the uproar is happening by, it's like the devil's advocate. It's like whispers in the underground. It's like they've managed to create all this friction without really showing themselves, revealing themselves. Sowing seeds of dissent without being noticed. And people hear about it, and they know that there's stuff going on, especially between the gangs, and they know that there's a new gang, but it seems like a lot of the dissent is because of their specific actions. You don't find a lair, you don't find where they're operating from, but you do find that they're very well hidden, and that it's them that is causing all of this stuff, and they're doing a really good job of undermining the other gangs, and even some of the law facilities here in Stormreach. You're hearing stories of dissent among the ranks of the soldiers, and in the harbour district especially, like many of the captains have started to argue amongst themselves a little bit more frequently than what they might have before. So they're causing a lot of stuff. So that's what information you get.
And at night, Bastion talks about this stuff. He rants about it. He goes over it with you guys, whether or not you're talking back to him. Or it's kind of like someone makes a mistake of asking what Bastion did today.
Mm-hmm.
and he latches onto that. And one of the key things he points out is he says, "Well, if we're still here tomorrow, I'm going to go into the sewers, find their lair. I don't expect to find much of anything besides filth and rats. Uh, but if I don't return, you'll know I found them. And if I do return and I know where they're at, I'd ask for help and getting the guards to help drive them out."
All right. And upon going into the sewers, um, do you want to make me another investigation and perception check while you're in there?
Sure. Can I make a persuasion check on the
And do
rats?
so with guidance, persuasion on the rats. If you can speak with them, I'm sure that Don could if Don came with you.
If
Oh, they
only
know
there
what
was
I'm
someone in the
saying.
party who could speak with animals.
Mm-hmm. Tempting to catch one, but I'm pretty sure they're too fast for Bastion. Yes, I will roll with guidance. So that's a
It's
12.
12, yeah.
Ooh.
Wow, 17.
And a 17.
Yeah, okay. So with your investigation, um, you definitely see that the sewers are frequented, and they're frequented by more than one gang. In fact, while you're down there, you see more than one brawl inside the sewers. Um, with your perception check, um, you do notice that there are signs through, like, secret signs through the sewers, and where these signs are hidden are actually, so the waters of the sewer, they're not especially filthy, and some of them even you can see to the bottom because some of the sewers are quite shallow, and where you can see down through to the bottom uh, of of the sewer, uh, there's occasionally a hidden symbol inside the water, like on the bottom of the where the water is, and they're in a serpent shape, and the head has a tongue, and the tongue is pointing in a direction, and you can actually follow the trail through until you get to, I guess it's like a big pipe with a grate over it, and you can see that the grate comes down from the top of the sewer down to like 3/4 down, but the last quarter is underneath the water of the sewer, which is filthy. But you can see that the grate doesn't go all the way down, and so that last quarter you feel like people could go underneath into that tunnel, into that pipe, and come out somewhere, and you think, and you're pretty sure that on the other side would be where they're hiding out.
All right. Excellent. Uh, Based on what he's heard about just the thugs so far, what is the expertise of the locals? All battle hardened, are they? Do they constantly get in fights? Do they seem like they're getting fresh blood?
In the other gangs, or
Yeah, and the other gangs.
um,
it may be something that I wouldn't have information about, so it's okay to say it's unknown.
What you would know is that there's definitely rivalries. Sometimes that would spill out into violence, but you don't think that that happens very often, and you think that the rumors of it and how often it's been happening in recent days is very uncommon. You don't think it would happen anywhere near that commonplace normally. But certainly they don't like each other, and certainly they vie for territory. But, there was this, they'd sort of settled into almost an understanding, right? Where it's like, this is our territory, this is your territory. Sometimes, there was a bit of a boil up. That didn't happen very often, but now this new gang's here, and now all of that's now under dispute again. It's like all of this old stuff that's gone under the bridge has now come back up. As far as fighting prowess and stuff, they can hold their own, but they're not seasoned adventurers. They're just thugs.
All right. Instead of going in, Bastion will wait next to or above the grate, and he'll wait there for a few hours, seeing if anyone comes or anyone goes.
All right. Do you want to try and stay hidden?
Yes, but I assume it's easier in the darkness and with them being possibly underwater.
Yeah. So make me a stealth check with advantage, and you can add 4 as well for the circumstance.
All right. Can I roll guidance as well on this one?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's a 9 because I have disadvantage on stealth.
So it's a 9, yeah.
Plus 8 would be
17.
17.
Cool. Alright, yeah, you stay hidden in the shadows. Because you can, you're a warforged, you can just stay still. And yeah, you do. You stay absolutely still. And yes, you do see the passage of various shadowy figures under the water as they swim to and fro.
Did they ever come in groups or are they singular?
How long did you say you want to be here? A couple of hours?
2 or 3 hours. Let's go with 3 hours.
Alright. I'm going to say for the majority of the 3 hours, people are just coming on a singular basis. However, 3 times in that 3 hours, not exactly on the hour, but approximately an hour apart, a group of 5 come in and out. It feels like some sort of patrol.
All right. Sometime after the group of 5, Bastion will ambush one of the group of ones and try to knock them out.
Okay, you can.
And if he succeeds, he will carry the body with him back to the surface.
Alright, what do you want to do with it?
The unconscious body.
Mm-hmm. Take him
He'll
to the
bring it
guard
to
or
the end and
something?
he'll say, I caught one.
Alright. The city
He
guard
will be...
would start off questioning, what do you mean one? Like, one of what? You'd
I was going to bring it to the end, but
Oh,
maybe
to the
the
end.
guards stop him in the process.
Okay. Well, you tell me. I'm sorry. I'm sort of. Yeah.
He's not bringing it directly to the guards, but if the guards stop him and question his business, I see that as totally understandable.
Yeah, they would. Because
Alright.
you're carrying a body through the streets.
I am Bastion. I have gone into the sewers and I have discovered where one of the sewer serpents hideouts is. I discovered this one entering their premise. I seek to question him to learn more about their organization.
They all step back and they go, "Don't let him near me. We don't want to. We want to get some sort of disease or something."
I am Warforged. I'm impervious to disease.
Yeah, you're a Warforged. We're not.
Dawn's impervious.
Fear not, good guardsmen. I will take care of this. Bastion's lying.
They're like, "Oh well, good. You take care of it. Just keep it away from me. You can take it to the local, prison if you like. I'm sure that they will put him into isolation, or you can just take care of it yourself." These particular guards, they don't want anything to do with you. They're like, "Do you want me to report this to our captain? I mean, we can if you want."
There's no need. I'll be talking to her later.
Great. Well, be about your business then. And they walk away. Like, that seems weird. The way that they're responding.
I totally could have gotten away with murder. So Bastion will walk into the inn and he'll say, "Dawn, Lana, I caught one."
Just Bastian walks into the inn with this body.
You caught one of what?
As she's like stopping her game of cards with Silas and Dawn, just what?
I discovered the location of the sewer. People keep saying the name wrong. The gutter serpents. The gutter serpents hideout. I think we can gain some information about the Yuan Tai from this one.
You want tea?
Yeah, I mean, however you pronounce it is fine.
I'm sure the snake people will pronounce it quite differently from us. Obviously, we're in need of information.
So where's it at?
He's holding it, like.
I'm holding him.
Now, what are you holding? Could you describe it?
What does this man look like, DM?
Okay. Yep. Let me find something all here. Alright. I'm
Out of
just looking
character, this
through
is what Bastion does in his free time. Knocks out random people. I am the law. Give me the information.
I'm just judge dreading this. Alright, let's see, where are we? Objects and tokens. Why? Ah, yes. So, there you go.
Oh, so that's totally conspicuous.
Like, he was wearing a cloak, but you can take the cloak off.
That's
Oh, sheesh, it's a snake! Run, Pumbaa, run!
Leave the cloak on for the most part, but he'll take the cloak off in the end.
Oops.
And he'll say, "This! It's Yuan Ti. Can you not tell? Snake head, scales, a fiendish look in its glazed over eyes."
if you say so.
I say so.
Well,
Some
Dawn
serious-
Don and Silas and Lana have all seen creatures like this before.
There's some scary dudes.
I don't want to say it looks different than what they had encountered, or I don't know, but
Yes, it is a different variety.
all right, yeah. She's like, I guess, like, it has snake and huge. Okay, yeah, why not?
Yeah, so some have the snake head and the human body. Some have like a snake body and a human head. Like you never quite know, but this particular one has the snake head and the human body.
What are you gonna do with it, Bastion?
I'm going to take it to my room and question it. But if someone of more tactful disposition could assist me with that, I would be most grateful.
Felice looks at Silas and Lana and says, "I'm out," and goes back to her notes.
I just kind of a look on her face, and she'll kind of look at Silas too, like in the. Hey. But she's not saying anything. Just kind of like.
Its form is evidence itself that I found their hideout. But if we can glean something more from it, then so be it. I'll be in my room. If any of you join me, you'd be most welcome.
Alright. Is anyone joining him?
Don, I'll come and see how this train wreck goes. Come on, Lana. You're good at this.
Come on, Lana.
Okay, I guess I'd like to see a good train wreck too. She'll get up. She'll gather up the.
Oh man, so
when
you
come in, Bastion is busily tying up the snake man,
yeah.
searching him for goods. What type of items does he have on him?
He has a long crooked dagger. That is actually in the shape of a snake. And it's not made of steel. You're not sure what metal on a first glance, but you could appraise that in a moment. And beyond that, he has the cloak, obviously, which is a dark color, and there is also a list of businesses that is on a parchment. And two of them are crossed off the list. You can still see their names, and you can see obviously the names of the remaining three. So there are 5 business names in total, and 2 of them have been crossed off.
Interesting. Alright. After finishing tying the one up, Bastion will say, "Shall I do the speaking or shall you, Lana?"
Oh, just a moment. So, and she's like, "Well, I certainly can. No promise post, but let's just make sure that because we are going to be questioning them, trying to find out why they're in the city, and if they have like any involvement with Lady Vol, right?"
Yes, that is the goal. We may not want to use her name if this one escapes. It could draw unwanted attention to us.
Okay. So then, just asking like why they're here, who they work for, I guess. But even then, like maybe they'll just give a false. All right.
Alright.
Felice
So,
consults her notes and realizes that she does want to know what's going on with this. And so she, hastily gathers up, rushes upstairs to at least listen in on what's going on. Or, to join and be there.
Alright.
Alright. Bastion will wake him up with a greater renewal.
Wait. Hold on. before you wake him up, I'd like to cast a spell on him.
Okay.
Bastion pauses, his hands glowing with divine energy.
Gears. You place a magical command on a creature, forcing it to carry out some service or refrain from some action or course of activity as you decide. If the creature can understand you, it needs a wisdom save or become charmed by you for the duration. While the creature is charmed by you, it takes 5d10 psychic damage each time it acts in a manner directly counter to your instructions, but no more than once each day. Creature that can't understand you is unaffected by the spell.
Well, hold that thought. I'll have to wait till he's awake, because if he's unconscious, he can't understand me.
Right.
Yeah. And before Bastion does cast on, I'll be like, hang on, remind me, how many questions am I asking him? Or is this just like the complete interrogation for the duration of your spell? Or
I don't mean to torture the poor thing. A little bit of threatening, implying that we know more than we do. Getting him to confess about things we already know.
okay.
I could cast Zone of Truth.
Yeah.
Could you come?
Silas coming out because he didn't want to be alone down.
Yes.
Oh,
And yeah, as long as just
an
again
excellent spell.
trying to make sure that she's like at least having probably seen or heard people at some point where it's like, yeah, you get like limited questions, make sure they're to the point and yada yada. So she's just like, hey, why you didn't come here? Who's your leader? Anyone else want to throw out a question or a suggestion of an answer they're trying to get? Otherwise, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
So when you wake him up, I did roll with disadvantage, and I got 2 17s.
Who is your
Oh, damn.
who do you see?
So the Geas doesn't work. But the Greater Renewal has healed him, and he does understand.
Are we all there then?
I mean, whoever wanted to be there.
Yeah,
I
think that
want
makes
to be there.
Alright, Lana's like, okay, I think I
So
got
you've
this.
restored health to him. He's not under the effects of Geas right at the moment.
I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth.
All right. Go ahead.
Oops, that's that one.
All right. It's a charisma save.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Till a spell ends, a creature that enters the spell area. Failed save. The creature can't speak a deliberate lie.
we don't know why.
And my DC is a 15, and he got a 14.
Yep.
That's
So
amazing.
you apparently I'm rolling lots of 15s. I'm wondering if that's a thing. Let me roll. Let me just quickly, just make sure that I can roll something other than a 15. Yes, good. He is under the effects of Zone of Truth, but not under Geas. So what are we saying? Questioning.
No, this is Alana now, right? He'll tell you the truth.
I am Bastion. What is your name?
Oh, God.
Is he still tied up?
Yes.
All right. He looks at you levelly, and he says, "In a place lost to time, she waits."
That is a different name. I'm going to call you Not Place. So, Not Place. I assume you know why you're here. I assume you know why you're still alive.
Colder than death, adrift in the everlasting maelstrom.
Right. right. Well, I was like kind of poking around, just kind of like, hi. So we got word of you and your crew, and we're just curious why you guys moved into town. Why are you?
Lest the right be forgotten, and the way unbeknownst, betwixt God and man, she waits.
Ah, she. So, this is your leader? Yes? What is her name? She sounds lovely.
To rend her flesh, welcome death's embrace. Usher in the old ways once more.
And what are the old ways?
For where
I
it
don't think-
long rests.
I don't think that he's going to give you a straight answer, Lana. He's
Just kind of like,
just a brainwashed acolyte.
she's
Right.
kind of like, well, we can at least try and see what he does say in the hopes that maybe we do end up getting answers.
Oh, you recognize what he is saying, Lana. These exact words have been spoken by Aelmir.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Alright. Okay, so in that case, like probably not even listening then to Silas. Like he may have said that, but she is like zoned out as she's like now really intent. Like, what are the old ways?
Yeah, he
Do
just.
you want to
Yeah.
continue to hear? Like, yeah, if he's just then yeah, I guess if that's all they're gonna say, then she would probably get frustrated and whatnot, like to like tell us who, tell like trying to like demand a straight answer, and then maybe if Simon more said it again, it's like you're not going to get an answer. She's like, and at that point just kind of walk away and like, my this is what Aylmer would say in her dreams, and and so yeah, she'd kind of be very flustered at the end of whatever interrogation that she manages to get. If and yeah, so that's how I see the scene going.
Bastion is all like, well, I tried to give you a chance. Picks up his hammer and knocks the thing out.
Okay. He stops mid-sentence. The seed that would bear it.
Sorry.
Bastion bends down, hefts the thing over his shoulder, puts the cloak over it again, and he says, well, I'm off to the guard office. I'm going to see if I can raise a army to clean out their den. If any of you want to help with the purging, I'm all
We're not-
ears. Or if you want to
but-
do it ourselves.
But we're not doing that now. We have other things to do.
Well, Felice is doing her research, but what am I supposed to do while she's doing that?
Well, I can
This would take a couple hours at least, or at most.
So,
Yeah.
so Felice would only like do research while we're so like once we were ready to leave, she wouldn't hold up the party to go on our voyage. Like she would.
right, and the other thing is that I don't have the sewer maps prepared, as I didn't know that we would be going that way. So I'd have to do that on the fly, which is okay if we decided to do that. But what I could do, if you like, is have that ready for next time, so that when we came back, we could pursue that as a side thing. I just don't have it ready for today.
If you like, Assuming these things are fairly weak, because Bastion was able to knock one out without trouble, Bastion could just go with the guards and take care of that behind the scenes. And you can just roll to see how it goes.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll tell you this much. If the guards came with you and went in there, you would find a much larger contingent of these things than what you're expecting. And what?
Oh, Bastion. Poor misled Bastion.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I can kill a couple of these things. You would go in there, and you would see levels upon levels upon levels of sewer, going down like probably at least 50 stories, and on each of the levels are these creatures. Um,
Oh,
it's not going to be a single day to clear it out, and you can plan to surgically strike. There's other entrances to this place, so you could like strike at the heart of it with some preparation. I'm not gonna force you to do like an entire dungeon to clear this out, but there's a lot of these things, and for today's information, you just figure out that can't happen today. You can plan something and organize something, but with what you know now and having seen how deep this goes, quite literally, yeah, it's kind of a dungeon.
All right. So let's say instead that Bastion simply drops off the Yuan Ti
Yep,
to the guard captain,
cool.
explains the situation, and she tells him that she'll need time to prepare. Bastion responds with he's going on a journey and can't be around during that time,
For sure, yeah. Well,
and
she
leaves
can
them with the
sort it out.
information to do what they will.
Yeah, absolutely. So she'll say, we won't act until you get back. We'll make sure that we find out where all of the entrances are. We'll plan it out. We'll draw up you up a map, and when you get back, we'll have effectively like almost like a war council where you sort of you know say which troops are going to enter which entrances and all that. So she's willing to sort that all out in the background while we go and do um, this part of the adventure.
All right, excellent. Sorry to slow things down, but that's a tangent I've
Look,
been wanting to follow
no,
for a
that's
while.
that's awesome. Yeah, I don't think you've really slowed things down, and I apologize that I didn't have that ready for today. But definitely I'll have it ready for next time or whenever we want to pursue it. So
All right,
Alright.
sounds like a plan.
cool.
and are we going for 15 more minutes or for an hour and 15 more minutes?
So we started at 11. It is now 2. So I'd probably be thinking like half an hour from now, like half an hour, 40
Yeah.
minutes ish.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. I like doing like just over 3 hours, three to 3.5. That's kind
Yeah.
of where I like to sit. Okay, so yeah, I do apologize that I didn't have that ready. Are we okay to go to the honeycomb caverns?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, let's get that done.
Very good.
Yeah.
Started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One second. Where? Sorry, I'm just. Did I?
Samuel. She did.
Why am I not seeing? I'm just looking on this map here. Did someone move Lana's token and Bastion's token around? Maybe it's on this other map. No, those are the old ones. Okay. Did I copy them over already? No, I didn't. Yeah. So I can't see
So-
Lana's token at the moment. That's,
Okay.
or Bastion's.
While you're bringing up the next map, something I think Lana would make mention to the party, especially closely after the interrogation, is that like one of the questions they're trying to figure out is why Vol would be working with Yuan-Ti or Drow, whatever. And something she would kind of mention to that is like, you know, it could be that maybe they're like possessed or brainwashed of some sort, because like just how the Yuan-Ti was just repeating what she heard Aelmir saying in her dream, and those moments where like it's like Aelmir what wasn't Aelmir, and so it's like could very well be something like that, because it just was so to the point and like automated, like they didn't really have control over what they were saying.
So he did not seem brainwashed. He seemed righteous.
Okay.
Quoting scripture at his captors. Oh, the audacity of it all.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Huh. Still could be interpreted as brainwashed.
Yeah. Cult.
Well, so there's a few things you already know. One, the Yuan-Ti used to rule side by side with the giants many millennia ago, and you know that they're looking to renew that. They're looking to get their lands back, and they believe that the lands are rightfully theirs. So, brainwashed or not, they have a very good reason for what they're doing. And they also believe fervently in this god, and they believe that bringing this god into the realms of mortals will deliver them from the from being almost wiped out so many years ago. So you already pretty much know that. So I'm not breaking any rules by reiterating that.
Okay.
So you think that they have this honest desire to have back what they once had.
Yes.
And this is why they're speaking this way. Anyway, so let's go to the Honeycomb Caverns. So, just before we get into Area 1, you find... we're at the approach to Area 1, and if you have a look at the top of the graphic, you'll see that there's ground leading up to Area 1 there. So that's the side view, whereas the bottom of the map is the top view. We won't be using the side view, it's just so that you can sort of see what things look like from that angle. But so you are approaching a yawning chasm that splits the ground, dropping 50 feet into the ground. And as you approach the entrance, a violent earthquake shakes the ground that you're standing upon. I need everyone, please, to make me dex saves to avoid falling in the hole.
Pulling up my character sheet.
You're okay, that's fine. Silas succeeds. Lana fails. Don fails. Bastian fails. Felice fails. Okay.
Really?
Lana's dex save is actually a 19.
19, is it? Okay, then
Yep.
you succeed. So, Silas and Lana, you don't fall in the hole. The rest of you, make an acrobatics check as you land.
Acrobatics. Oh no.
Oh dear.
Felice is gonna die.
Don't have a broken leg at this point.
By the way,
Oof.
I didn't reset my
17.
hit point.
Alright. Yeah, your hit points might be wrong because I couldn't find everyone's tokens, so I've just taken the old tokens, so they might be slightly wrong. So adjust them as you need to. In any case, all of you take 17 falling damage as you land prone on the at the bottom of this chasm. And what you see is that the chamber at the base of the chasm extends a dozen yards to the east, narrowing slightly, before widening again into an immense cavern. A multicolored glow seeps from the stone, and dark shadows on the walls and floor hint at further passages beyond. You are currently in shadowy illumination, and as you look around you, the walls of this oblong chamber are rough and dry. The floor bears numerous jagged cracks and one or two bleached animal bones, and a symbol is drawn in blood on the wall. For Lana, excuse me, and Silas, you can lower yourselves down via rope. You don't take any damage.
I'm making a very solid base at the top, and yeah, so we can get back out as well.
Yep, that's not a problem. And I am revealing here in your notes, at the bottom of your notes. One moment. Handouts this is. All players. Save. So you should now see at the bottom of your handouts a symbol in blood. It seems to be a stylized dragon in a form very similar to a dragon mark, but the dragon is wearing a crown, and a claw whose nails are pointing up toward the dragon is underneath. And it is drawn in blood on the wall.
It is
Felice,
pretty large.
Bastion will say as he dusts himself off. Oh, just what artifact are we seeking here?
The glaive.
The glaive.
Yes, it's the
The
glaive
glaive
of
of-
darkest depths.
Yes.
I can tell you a little bit about it, as Felice did do some research. So quickly, the glaive of the darkest depths was created by a powerful jungle giant necromancer by the name of Isdelth. I will write his name in the chat in a moment. And you believe that it was created for the sole purpose of combating the Kori, the group of demon outsiders that are that have a Dalcor as their home. So his name is Isdelth, the jungle giant necromancer who forged this glaive to combat the Kori, evil outsiders from Dalcor. You know that it is made, the shaft is made of an oily black metal, and the head of the glaive is a broad silver blade that ends in a wicked point. Beyond that, that's about all you're able to find out.
Okay.
So you know what you're looking for in any case.
Can I... see, I gotta look here for a second. I have that relic hunter.
Bastion will cast Insight on Felice.
Insight? You mean
Guidance.
Guidance.
I
Thicker
cast
shadow
insight.
Is Felice really herself? Or is she lying?
So I would like to relic my relic hunter
Yep.
ability.
Yep. So as an action, designate a type of item you wish to locate. Sense the direction of any item that matches that type within the radius. Spend a bonus action on your turn to further refine the description. Visual properties, age, race of origin. If I sense only one item using this feature, I know the quickest route to the item. Do not know any hazards that may exist between me and the item. May perform this number a number of times. Okay? Type of item, wish to locate within 1 mile. So what is the type of item that you wish to designate?
So the glaive itself.
So so the whole point of this is that you have to narrow things down turn by turn. So you can say artifact.
Okay.
Or you can say
or
glaive or yeah, so you name one descriptor and then you can define the descriptor further by one name each round as a bonus action.
Right.
So what descriptor do you want to use?
We'll start with artifact.
Okay. So yes, there is an artifact within a 1 mile radius, and it is to your east in the direction that you're facing.
Well, folks, how about we start by heading east?
Sounds good to
about
me.
right.
And then, I guess the next thing would be specifically glaive.
There is also, so let me spin to further refine the description, one descriptor at a time. Okay. Bonus action. Yeah. So you want to action first and then bonus action on the same turn. Is that correct? Is that right?
Is that me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's the same. It's the same. So there is an artifact glaive to your east.
Okay.
And it's within whatever, however many feet that is.
Sweet.
So yeah, within this place. I mean, obviously, as players, you can see what we're looking at. As characters, you'll experience it room by room.
Sure. Okay. Yep.
All right,
and I'll
so
keep an eye out.
yeah, so that's your turn. And you can see that in the next cavern there are pillars that are composed of elemental force, and they hang suspended in mid-air. There's a cylinder of crackling fire, a pillar of swirling storm clouds, a twisting ribbon of green water, and a column of glittering gemstones. They measure about 10 feet in diameter and are about 30 feet high. But they're probably not the thing. Who has dark vision, by the way?
You're not.
Because the pillars are glowing, you guys can see around them. And this is what you see. This area used to be inhabited by humanoid bee people whose corpses are now strewn in gory pieces all over the room. Thoraxes and heads are skewered on spears, and at least 30 weapons are strewn across the chamber. The walls and roof are a mosaic of blood, flesh, and entrails. To say that this place reeks of death is an under-exaggeration. As you make your way, if you make your way past the pillars, the body, So, you'll see that. Constitution check. You may roll a Constitution check if you wish. You don't have to, but you may. Yes, it's pretty foul, but you can hold your lunch. It's okay.
Alright, so Bastion will cast Aid as a level 5 spell on himself, Gordon, and Felice.
Right, and that increases your hit points. Is that right? Your temporary
Increases your maximum hit points by doing some basic math by 20.
Yeah. All right.
Sweet.
So you'll need to adjust that, guys.
So nice. And I have a question. I'm sorry. We had that dex save. Was that a trap?
No. You were up on the surface, and there was an earthquake. It was a natural earthquake, and it made you fall.
Great, thanks.
It was not a trap.
Cool.
It's a trap.
Yeah, right. So what are we? Let's see.
I'll talk about.
Well, I have trap savant, so I probably should.
Okay, well, I mean, you have control of your characters, so you tell me and show me what you're doing by moving your guys around and describing what you're doing. Obviously, these pillars are glowing. They're hovering in midair. So the first one is I'll just describe them once more. So the first one is a pillar of fire, or cylinder of crackling fire. The second one, the blue one, is a pillar of swirling storm clouds. The third one, the green one, is twisting ribbon of green water. And the final one is a column of glittering gemstones. You can see them all because they're all glowing. And you can see in an area around them because they're glowing.
Hey, Bastion. That one way over there might have diamonds.
I want to go to it, but
That
is it
one's
worth it
yours,
to
buddy.
risk the mission over
No,
a few diamonds?
I think that these columns may have something to do with the mission.
Oh, they are somewhat of elements: fire, water, nature, and earth.
True.
It could also be traps that explain all the bodies strewn about.
Yeah.
Though how many of them came here, I'm not sure.
By the way, you
All
have to
came to be.
literally, almost wade your way. Carefully step over broken bones and flesh and gore.
These are recent bodies, then?
Not especially. They've been here for at least a couple of days.
Gosh, who the heck came through? Gross.
Or tried to.
I don't know. Okay, this makes me.
I'll go first. If I die, it's my honor to die for such a noble cause.
Cool. Alright, so you're making your way further into the cavern.
Yes, Bastion will follow a path on the northern part.
Alright, so as you are making your way past the pillars, The bodies of the fallen pull themselves together, necrotic power stitching the flesh and animating the dead in twisted and unnatural combinations. Roll initiative.
Yay.
Oh yeah, Dawn's day has come.
Roll crap.
So let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that one. That one.
Out come the short swords.
That one. That one. That one. That one. Initiative is 14. Okay. Let me just go back here. Okay, and we've got Silas, Felice, Dawn, Bastion. Why is that? Okay. For some reason. So I'll put that in as well, and that's 14 as well. And I will roll initiative here. Roll D20 plus. How many have we got? 3. 12. Okay, so I'm going to add each of these. Alright, so the order that they're going to be in, so it's 15. Is in order that you see them. So this is the first one in initiative, that's the second one in initiative, that's the third one in initiative. And I will descend this. Oh, well, it may not work that way, but that's okay. We'll figure it out.
I think I'm in the wrong spot. Or did it finally Never mind, it rearranged me.
Okay, so Dawn, you are first. What do you want to do? So these things, they're just like, yeah, nice. They're just like bits of bodies that have just stitched themselves together. So a 60-foot line. Do you want to just real quick show me the line again? Sorry.
Yeah, one sec.
I can actually. See.
I think I could get both of them with a 5-foot width to the line.
Okay. What happened?
So roughly that. Here, I'll give you a description too. Don speaks a word of power and throws a handful of sulfur at the ground in front of him, and his head his eyes burst forth with light, and his head is haloed by an intensity that can only be held in similarity to looking at that of the rising sun, and a great beam of radiance flashes forth in front of him like lasers issuing forth from his eyes, which remain as if engulfed in this liquid sunlight even after the beam has gone forth. He's also a walking torch now, by the way.
So you like that?
Well, it has to originate from him, I believe.
Okay. And it's 5 foot wide.
Yeah.
this up here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Are you happy with that?
Sounds good.
Okay. Sure. So con save, and they.
With disadvantage because it's undead.
Yep. Just making sure that I don't have any special abilities that. Yep. Okay. Apparently they succeed. And they take 14.
Yeah. And they are not blinded because they made their save.
Right.
And I'm only seeing 2 rolls. Was that with disadvantage?
Oh yeah. One sec. I'll roll again. Which I have to roll twice, don't I? So the first one succeeds with that, and the second one with disadvantage got to 12. So you know what? We will say that the one closest to you is the one that takes the damage because it makes more, makes more sense than the one that's right at the end of the line. Oh, I suppose it is a little bit further than that, yeah. So, there we go. And so he will take 28 and is blinded. And the other one takes 14 and is not blinded. Let's see if I can... no, I don't know. Okay. Ah, yes. I can mark him. Let's just mark him. There.
It is radiant damage. Do undead take any special effects from that? I don't know.
These particular ones do not have vulnerability to radiant damage, no.
Alright, cool. And I'm good with my turn. Donald, stay where he's at. Eyes full of sunlight, liquid sunlight.
Okay, now, so that stays there and lasts a minute.
Yeah, with concentration.
And on a...
not the line. The line doesn't stay. The line is instantaneous.
Okay.
But Don holds the spell in effect and can use his action to create a new line each turn.
Okay. Well, let's do this.
It's like Call Lightning, but horizontal and issuing from Dawn.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So I'm going to give you, if I can, all of my things. Controlling. Why can I not do that anymore? Okay, I'm not going to give you, because I don't know. I used to be able to just give you access to that, but I don't know how to do that at the moment. They've changed the UI on me. But I will do whatever it is that you ask me. So, Silas, you can see that they've been affected by this fire, this radiant fire. The line is not there for the moment. I'll just put it down here for the moment, but you know that if Don concentrates, then he can make that happen again. What do you want to do on your turn?
Okay. Silas is going to stand in between that fire pillar and the guy on the other side of it if he stands there.
Right, well, move yourself there.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So actually, where I'm standing is fine. If I just shoot pretty much in a straight line right from there.
Okay.
Scorching ray. I hope to shoot through the pillar. See if anything happens.
Do
because
you?
it's fire.
Okay. So so the ray is like a line, and it'll just go through the pillar toward the thing.
It should.
Okay. Let's see what this says. Okay, so what happens? Your spell goes off.
Mhm.
And you know what happens when firemen backburn and fire just stops where the backburning happened because there's nothing for it to burn? Yeah, the fire just absorbs the fire and doesn't go through the pillar.
Doesn't go through it, but nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
Okay. Well, that didn't work. And I'm going to kind of move over here.
Yeah, so it's basically just absorbed its own element into itself.
Yeah.
You could say that you saw a little flare and it just sort of, you know, so that it's not like completely nothing. The flare just sort of came in and it sort of just got absorbed into the
No, it's
fire.
totally fine.
And it's their turn. So they're a little bit big at the moment. Let's reduce their size. Okay. Okay, so this one will move to there. That one's blinded. So it's going to move in this direction. I'm going to make it make a save. And it's going to be a dex save. And it's going to be +6. 14. Yeah, that's alright. Or is it? That's if that happens. Yeah. So he doesn't touch that one. He senses it. He continues to move. And the next one, I'm going to make him make another one. +6. This time he fails and he touches the pillar by accident because he's blinded and he doesn't really know where he's going precisely. And so he's going to take, he's going to make a constitution save and take some damage. You see the fire arc out at his hand and burn into him when he's blind, you know, he's blindly holding out his hands trying to figure out where he is. So that con save is +5. So he's going to take half damage from that. Oops, 5. So he's going to take 8 fire damage. Okay. The one that's next to you, Bastian, will attack you.
Alright, let me know if one of the attacks hit.
Alright, he is... so he... as he moves toward you, as a bonus action, he picks up one of the weapons. He already has one. He picks up another one, and when he picks it up, the weapon that he picked up gets absorbed into his current weapon. It sort of just melds into it. And he's making... He's making 3 blade attacks.
Alright. Bastion will thunderously rebuke him with Wrath of the Storm should he hit.
Okay. I will let you know right now. +1 damage, yeah. So I got a 25, a 20, and a 22.
Let's see. Armor class of 22.
So 2 of them hit.
Alright. On the first hit,
Honey, could you turn that down very slightly, please? I just don't want to get copyrighted.
does an excellent amount of damage. If you could roll a dexterity save.
Yep. $16.
I'm double checking my spells. So sorry for the wait.
Oh, okay.
And that ties with my save DC.
Okay. So,
Does it get halved?
yeah.
Alright. And then he'll go ahead and use his Thunderous Strike feature
Mm-hmm.
to knock it back 10 feet
Okay.
into the water pillar.
Okay. Well, let me do my damage to you. So the first one is gonna hit, and it's that one that you push him away, right?
Correct.
Well, he'll still have movement to come back at you, so he's still gonna land both hits, but he will take the damage from the water pillar. Actually, he'll get a save, which is +3 against the damage. He fails. He takes full d6. So he takes another 12 points of damage from the pillar. And then the damage that you take is 2 lots. So I'll just roll them and we can add them together. Actually, you know what? I'll just... Oh yeah, I'll roll them separately. So you take 14 and then 21 damage from him.
Alright, and on the second one, he'll use... Actually, I guess he can only use it once. It's his reaction.
Yeah, so only one reaction, yeah. The one
Alright.
that's far away is not blinded. He has... he can take the dash action as a bonus action. His speed is 40 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 30... Well, so he can make it all the way up to whoever. He sees Don, and he sees that fire thing came from Don, so he will move all the way up to Don, and he will make 3 attacks against Don. He used a bonus action, so he can't pick up another weapon. This turn, anyway. He gets 25, 15, and 15. Don, what is your AC?
It is 19.
So just 1 hit. He didn't pick up an extra weapon, so you take 8 points of slashing damage.
Oof.
As he rolled terribly for his damage. 1 and a 3. So that is their turn. So let me go to my turn order, go through them, and we're up to Bastion. Feels like you've already had turns, but that was just reactions. Go ahead, Bastian.
All right, Bastion will go ahead and attack with his Bashless. I shouldn't even say the name. The Cavalry Hammer.
Yep. It is.
Does the 26 hit?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Smash.
There is a boom as it hits it for 13 damage.
Excellent. Takes 13 damage.
And that is Bastion's turn.
Lovely. Looks like Don has saved with his concentration, so you should still be able to do stuff. Lana.
Okie dokie. So, seeing. She does not want to get very close to that pillar, so she's up, up here towards Silas, and then she's going to go side of Bastion, and she's going to stabby stab with her dagger. So,
Alright.
11 does not hit.
No.
She fully retreat, just a little bit.
Do you have the whole...
Or to disengage as a bonus action, yes.
Okay. So you disengage as a bonus action. Very good. Very good. So that's all for you?
Yes.
Felice, it is your turn.
All right. Well, Felice pulls a little stone figure out of her pocket, and she speaks a word of, I don't know, mysterious word, and sets it down, and it a mastiff. And she points at this guy, this guy, and says, "Stick him."
Yep.
And let's see. So he lasts for up to 6 hours and has his own initiative of 8 and can speak common.
All right.
He has a couple other things too, but I don't think they apply at the bothering with. And then let's see. So whoops. So I assume I pulled up stats for attack. Would that be correct?
They're just Mastiff stats.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, good. So since his initiative is 8, he'd go before me anyway, right?
So for ease, he's just going to go on your turn, Felice.
Perfect. So he's going to attack our little friend there. And let's see. So in that case, I have to do that with that other. Yeah, right here. Oh. Okay, he does not succeed. And then I will follow him up there, and I will attack with my short swords.
Okay.
So, here's my... Let's see.
Yep. Very good.
Nice. And I will just I am worried about this other guy back here, but I will just, yeah, that's it for me.
Okay.
I got something for that.
So I'll ask a question before continuing on. It is half past. Do we want to finish this encounter?
I got nothing better to do. That's me.
I do have to work in 6 hours.
Yeah, we should then pause it.
Okay.
All right, so we are at the start of the round coming in. We're pretty familiar with what's going on. I'll keep the doggo there. I'll keep the line of fire there. That way we're aware of what's going on. We will start next time in the middle of battle. And see if we can fend these things off. It's been cool, guys. Sorry again that I didn't have the sewer stuff, but I'll have that ready for next time. And next time we'll also figure out what the hell has happened in here with all of this carnage and undead shenanigans. So hopefully you guys have had fun. Thank you so much for being my players and for being part of this. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time to continue on. Thanks to all my players, and catch you guys next time.
Bye.